And I'm Nicole, and you're listening to The Power of We.
Each week, we will share with you our crazy journey of sobriety and success as a mother-daughter.
Our past is complicated, but it has made for 2 fascinating lives.
We have healed together through love and strength, through mutual respect. We've created an unconditional bond.
Our goal is to empower you, the audience, to be the best you can be.
Together, we will share tips of motivation, mindful tools, and explore our guest journey so we can all win together.
You are listening to The Power of We.
What an incredible day this is. I am so excited about our guest. But before we get into that, how are you today?
I'm incredible. I was just thinking we've been doing this podcast for over a year now.
I'm so excited.
And we've had such incredible people on our show just sharing, what they can give to the world.
Changing my life,
Changing
for sure.
my life and all of your lives.
And we also have something really special. Who's turning 2 years sober?
It's freaking weird as shit.
Thank you, God.
It's so weird to think that I'm almost, by the grace of God, going to be 2 years sober. I mean, as like most of you know, I was in a really, I was overdosing on drugs. I was taking whatever I could get my hands on. I was
your mom
literally
through
not
hell.
knowing my name. Like, I just, it was so crazy. And today I live this life where I get to share, everything that I've learned through sobriety with all of you, and I get to be a sales manager of this incredible company. I have such an amazing relationship with my family, and I'm so grateful for my mother here. And my little brother's sober, and life just got so big so quick and so full, and it's just such, I can't be more grateful.
It's all about gratitude right here.
So yeah.
That's what it's about.
But with that being said, we have such an amazing person here today. I've never been so excited. Lindsey Shaw has been an actress for over 20 years. She is known for playing Moze on the Nickelodeon show Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, which I have to say I watched when I was in middle school every single day.
Every
and
day.
then for playing Paige on Pretty Little Liars, which of course everyone and their mom knows.
Yes,
so
that's for sure.
Let's welcome the incredible, talented Lindsey Shaw.
Lindsey!
Woo!
First of all, before we get started, everyone knows before I do a show, I love one kiss. And you came in, you're like, play, what is it called?
Big Energy Lotto.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Lotto.
It's my new song. Are you so happy?
I'm so happy. It's literally the best.
There's a
so
clean
good.
version, there's an explicit version for whoever the audience is out there. You know what I mean? So it can be a family song or a get down song.
Yeah.
Whatever
and
you want.
Exactly.
It's great. I mean, wow. I can't believe you're really here. I used to watch my kids watch you on TV, and now
you heard my voice screeching in the
I'm
background
like,
while
that
you were
voice
trying
sounds
to
very familiar.
That's so awesome.
So how are you today?
I'm great. I'm really stoked to be here. I'm very just present right now. Yeah.
I can only imagine. I mean, you've had such an incredible career. You've really grown up in Hollywood, which is not easy.
Yeah, I definitely didn't choose to make the road any easier for myself. It was pretty quintessential.
Well,
and how did you get into acting in the first place?
I was always kind of involved in, I liked attention.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Well, there you go.
Attention seeking.
Okay. Check.
So that was part of my whole life. And then my mom kind of was down to go with the flow and follow through agencies that we had met through locally. And then we just ended up moving to LA when I was 12. And things kind of worked out from there. My mom was pretty much in it to win it. And so thankfully, a year in, we got Ned's. We waited another year for that to get picked up. But, I had so much grace with me, I feel like, in the first part of me being out here. And so it was infinite, I was very successful. And then, because it was and then it was that grace sort of depleted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of friends in Hollywood, and I know it's not easy to be in Hollywood and, growing up in Hollywood. So I guess I would like to know, how did you deal with that inside? Because everyone's looking at you. You're supposed to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Sorry for the word.
Yeah.
But,
No,
you
love
know.
it. Love it. Great word. No, I didn't deal with it. Like, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, I didn't. Like, they use that metaphor, you know, facing any of your problems is like you're going at rocket speed in this car, like with a bunch of fast food wrappers in the back, and then when you like slam on the brakes or you hit the whatever, it all like the crap comes
Yep.
flying back at the window, and it's all kind of messed up. So that sort of happened over a span of like 20 years.
Right.
You know, that gradual decline was intense. I actually have a dual diagnosis.
Okay.
I also have BPD, borderline personality disorder, which I just found out this last go round of being sober, which the spiritual change came. So,
Well, that's
so I found that out, and now I'm treating that dual diagnosis. But
that's good.
yeah,
That's
thank
awesome.
you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's amazing,
But-
and that's so powerful that you can actually admit that. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
proud
talk
of
about
you.
it.
Thank you.
I'm proud
I
of
appreciate
yourself
that.
right
Thank
now,
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was hard to find though, because BPD involves a kind of like splitting, and
Yeah. What does that mean?
so BPD is basically like an ingrained forever trauma response with right action and with medication and with honestly talk therapy. You can actually grow out of BPD because it's a
wow.
behavioral issue,
Okay.
right? Sorry. So what I was, it kind of went with acting. So acting kind of like masked that because BPD almost works
Yeah.
better. You go off on these polarities and you can reach these like places that were appropriate. And see, I could
Right.
keep it in that arena at
That makes
first.
sense.
And then it started to just trickle over into every interpersonal relationship. I became known as the dramatic one. And little did I know this was a disease manifesting. I thought I was just like really tapping into my craft.
Yeah.
No, I was just honestly in a state of complete confusion and chaos for my last, descent into
But
the.
you couldn't
Yeah.
tell. I mean, everybody's followed you.
Yeah.
You have so many people love you. So don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, I
you're
appreciate
doing
you.
amazing.
Thank
And
you.
you really connect with my daughter because you guys are both beautiful. She went to school and she went to this U of A and she tried to fit in with all the beautiful girls.
Yeah, I mean-
and it was just a disaster.
Like I was in college for a while. I started in Arizona, and the thing is to, like, fit in and make sure like everyone likes you. Like I was attention seeking. I wanted everyone to love me. I was people pleasing, and that's for me is like when I like turned to alcohol and drugs because like everyone was doing it, one, and two, it's like why not do it? Like, and I didn't want to deal with any of my problems. I
Yeah.
had been through a lot of stuff growing up, and I didn't want to deal with anything. So I would push it down and just take drugs. And the more I took, the more I didn't have to deal with it. And then it came to this like cycle of, okay, but I need more and I need more, and I don't want to deal with this. And then something else would happen because I was using so much, and then I didn't want to deal with that. And then, so it's just that crazy cycle.
Crazy
So,
memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so funny is
Yeah.
that I actually went to Arizona for my 2-year
Oh, really?
hiatus from LA. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Really?
So all of my family moved there. So
Oh,
I was in the
wow.
middle, and not even in like a real city in Chandler, or I was in Chandler for a while, but
Okay.
I was in Santan Valley, out where there's not even like paved
And what
roads.
was it like?
jeez.
It was. Now that I think back to it, it was so peaceful. Like I
Yeah.
was so calm for the first time. I
Yeah.
was so broken when I left here. I thought I was dying. My
Well, you
ego
were
was
actually
completely dying.
Yeah,
taking
I can
time
feel that.
for yourself. And you were actually quieting your body because you're in Hollywood and you're going. Everyone's pulling you in different directions.
Yeah.
And that, listeners, is so important. You guys get this from Lindsey because everyone needs to quiet your brain and quiet yourselves. Otherwise, you're not going to be the best self you can be.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, sorry, I'm getting like a little bit wrapped up back in these memories. I mean, it was awful. I mean, you're hearing voices that aren't your own. You're fantasizing just about the worst things, and then you're compounding that with more drugs and alcohol to try to
Yeah.
get away from those feelings, which are really only fueling those feelings.
Yeah.
But it really felt like a death when I was leaving. Like my whole identity
Oh, it must
is
have been
being an actress. I had
scary.
no idea I was a human or
Right.
good at
Yeah.
anything else, or
Yeah.
had an ability to be loved by my family, for just being me. Like
Yeah.
there was so much to qualify being a human
Yeah.
before. And realizing that that's not a thing, like, or
Yeah.
at least doesn't have to be a thing, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Really.
And we're gonna jump all over, but I
Wait.
just have to ask this one question.
Yeah.
I know we're like fighting.
We're fighting to ask questions over
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So now you're sober, correct?
Yes.
And how do you feel?
Just so grateful.
I
Like
love
so grateful. Like this was such a serendipitous timing for this to happen because I'm in such good, deep step work right now.
Amazing.
And it's just, you know how they say the spiritual change happens.
Yes.
I have been fighting on this road for about 5.5 years.
Yeah.
You know, getting help from groups and
Right.
you know, from sponsors and stuff. But just never really being in it.
Is this the first time you've actually taken yourself through the steps, honestly?
Not the first time, but pretty much the first time that
The
I've
real
been
time.
in
Really
the real
done
time.
it, yeah.
The spiritual change
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
what?
was there a rock bottom?
I'm sure.
Too
We all
many.
have rock bottom.
Yeah, what they don't tell you is it's not rock bottom, it's rock bottoms.
Yeah.
If you don't like
That's true.
just
That's
that tiny
true.
piece of
Facts.
tissue paper
Yeah.
between you and rock bottom is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it.
Yeah, I remember going through it myself, you know, and hitting my rock bottom, but I didn't have a choice. My son said to me, if you don't stop drinking, I'm never going to speak to you again. And I was like, okay, this is not a joke. And he was the only one that could tell me that. And literally, he did not speak to me for 6 months, and it was the worst. So I had to do my steps. I had to do my program and pray every day that he was going to talk to me again. I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
And then this one.
And yeah, for me,
besides-
I had a bunch of rock bottoms, obviously. But, you know, for me, the main rock bottom was I was at school, and I was drinking, doing everything a lot. And then I got... I actually got sexually assaulted by like 4 different people and beat, and then I overdosed on drugs that next morning.
And her mom was there waiting
And
for her
yeah,
to come home.
that was God. My mom was actually visiting me that weekend.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh,
you know, when I woke up
babe.
in that hospital, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what is going on? How did I even get here, you know? And the doctor like said to me, like, you lit up the charts, like you had every drug in your system. And I
They
was
kicked
like,
me out of the
what?
room. They didn't even want to tell me.
You know, and some of the drugs I didn't even know I took.
Oh.
That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, when did I take meth? Like, when did I take these things? Like, I don't remember saying yes to that, you know? But when you're going down that path, it's like you don't know what you're doing.
How did you find her? Like, how did that all go?
So
it's
I had,
crazy.
you know what? My intuition at 2:00 in the morning, I was freaking out. I was calling my cousin, where's Nicole? Where's Nicole? I'm combing the streets of University of Arizona,
Yeah.
looking for her, calling her. And by the grace of God, she picks up the phone. I'm like, where the frick are you? Get your ass home. Get in an Uber right now. My voice somehow got her
I don't know
to
what
get,
it was.
she get
I
out
was,
of
like,
the,
not
she
even, like,
got out of the
conscious.
cab, and I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh my God, we need to go to the hospital
Yeah.
immediately. And there was a huge line. I busted through everyone in there. I'm like, I didn't even know if this was the case. And I said, my daughter's overdosing. Those words came out of my mouth, and I had no idea that happened to her. I barely even talked to her.
oh
And
my
it
gosh.
was, it was insanity.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was
So,
insanity.
The Holy
like,
Spirit.
for
So
you,
if you guys are listening, remember, everyone hits the rock bottom. But there is hope at
there's
the end
hope,
of this.
definitely. But, you know, do you have, like, one story you could share with us that was, like, I knew I needed to change my life?
Yeah. Well, there's 2 like very glaring moments. I got 5150 twice in the
Okay.
course of 6 months.
Okay.
One of them, a 5150, is a mandatory 3-day hold that either your parents put you on or the police or you know. So I
And what does that mean, though? It puts you on hold.
in a psychiatric facility
Yeah.
for observation and you can't leave and you need to have a plan by the time you leave.
All right.
So yeah, I just remember. So I had gone through 3 roommates in this one place in the course of a year, and it was December. I had even a project coming up to work on,
Yeah.
and
But you had no answers.
I had
You had no
nothing.
life.
I literally
felt
I had
like
been
nothing.
taking Adderall for days.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was
and,
me.
and usually I will just keep take that till you pass out.
Right.
I had no interest. No interest. Even
Yeah.
after, like, no interest.
Yeah.
So I had this bottle of Xanax, and I was like, I don't really take downers or whatever. I don't know what to do right now. Obviously, I've been drinking tequila. I go through my phone twice. I'm like, who can I call? Who can I call? And I don't feel anybody. I feel so cold. Like I was freezing. And like, I just poured the whole bottle out in my hand. I think there were like 34 because I had one full script and then I had been giving them away, but I had like a few from another.
Yeah.
And I just remember like taking those and be like, let's see what happens. And I woke up a day and a half later.
Wow.
In a bed in Alhambra, trying to leave, and 2 orderlies. It was like just like a movie, dude. They both come under my arm and they're like, "Ma'am." Like, sorry, a little bit, whatever. It's not COVID. I'm totally
not worried.
safe.
It's okay.
I promise
You don't have to worry about us. We are not.
Okay.
We're not COVID scared.
You know. So but you know. Anyway. So sorry. What was I saying?
So you were in the
right. The worst day of my life. No big. So I woke up there. Immediately I go to, what do I have to do to get out of here?
Right.
Like,
of course.
put on
Like,
a happy face. Like, I want to get better.
Yeah.
First thing just to get out of there. First thing I do when I get out of there is pick up.
Yeah.
Right, of course. And being an actress, was it easier for you to like put on that face, you think? Or no?
I don't know, because I'm going to be honest with you. It's actually really hard for me to lie.
Really?
Very much so. I am such the good girl. I'm so honest, even to my own detriment, but obviously not honest enough like with myself.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't want to deceive people. Like I really don't. I want to be transparent
That's
to
why
my
you're
core, almost
punishing
self-hating.
yourself.
Exactly.
You're
yes.
punishing yourself.
Exactly.
Well, I'm so glad you're out of that right now.
Oh,
one day.
what
at
is
a
that
time.
great thing where they're like, I would rather be 10 steps out of hell than 1,000 steps walking
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
10 steps walking out.
And
than 1,000
honestly, it's only
away.
going to get better and better for you.
I
I'm
know,
so
seriously.
excited about
How-
your next journey.
May I ask, like, how like, what is your how
How what? How
your
long?
sober journey? Like, what is
Okay.
your sober journey?
So, I've been sober. It will be 3 years in July. Yes, and then she's
Yes.
2 years
Next
in
week.
June,
Hey,
and my
Yeah.
son's 2 years in June. So I got sober
You know,
first,
and that brings me to a
and
good
then
point.
Nicole got sober, and then we
It's
got
really a ripple
Brandon
effect,
sober.
and you getting sober. I mean, you know this, but I'm just gonna tell you, you're a huge influence on so many people in this world, and like you have that ability to change so many people's lives.
Yes.
And that's like I
Love
could
the
cry
chills.
for you because that's so amazing. Like there's not that many
feel so
people that have that
grateful.
ability,
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
do
For
that.
this
You don't know
opportunity,
how
that's-
many people's
I'm
lives
so
you can
glad.
change. Like it's that one person,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
it's
we're
so
trying
many
to help
people.
other people too. And you know, I own a home staging company, and it's amazing how people come and want to work with us. That they want to change their lives.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about empowerment, right? So I try and these girls
Yeah.
that came to me, they never were stagers, but we talk about empowerment every day, doing gratitude, doing meditation, you know, working out, being the best self you can be.
And I
So
feel
we-
like
yeah.
in AA, it's all about like getting out of yourself in a sense. Like we all need to get out of ourselves in order to help that other person. And like, thank you for being here for doing this. Because not only does
Oh
it
my
help
gosh.
us, it helps you. It
Oh
helps
my
everyone else
gosh.
out there.
when Sweet Genesis, she's your producer, she's your
Yeah.
all of the things.
lovely lady over
She's-
here.
Yeah, she's amazing. So when she called me, I had literally that day, I was just like gushing about the meeting I had just had with my sponsor. It was
Yeah.
one of the, we were like finishing my 4-step, and I
Right.
was full, man. I was so full. I was bubbling
Yeah.
to everybody. You know how you can't
Yeah.
stop like
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
And then I get this call, and
That was
it's
fun.
like, here's this opportunity, right? This vehicle to
Yeah.
like
Yes,
deliver it,
and
birth
and
it.
I, besides that, I hope you're doing things, and I'm excited to hear what you do to help yourself, like I don't know, yoga or
Yeah, no,
meditation
yoga,
or
right?
whatever.
Yoga's huge for you,
yeah. I became a certified yogi when I
Oh, wow.
moved to Arizona. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yoga was there for me. My dad had taught me yoga. I was in and out of yoga before that, but I needed it as a lifeline, and that's what it became for me. I started working as a receptionist in a yoga studio in the middle of Santine Valley. I washed sweaty towels and mopped the floor and like did the whole thing.
I would have got
right?
fired for sure.
No, like I was in it. I was part of the staff. I was part of the little competitions that the studio did.
You guys all listen to this. Here's this actress, right? She had to get real, and she had to watch sweaty towels.
Yep.
This means she's on
Hot
her
yoga.
And you're on your journey. You're on your journey.
That's sopping wet, and they're not
God.
even in the.
Oh my
Freak me
god.
out.
Had to
Ew.
wash down those those mats.
I don't even do
Dude,
wash
I was
myself.
scrubbed. Like
Yeah, I bet.
it was one of the greatest experiences, and I was so
I
grateful
love
for
it.
that job.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
love
so
it.
grateful, and that was a place to go. And then I eventually got trained as a teacher, and then I realized yoga teachers don't really make enough money to like, unless you literally da 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 da. So I
think
realized
the
that's
acting
not
will be
super
better for you.
Exactly. So then I was like,
yoga.
let me go back to because I completely forsook. I don't know how to say it, but I completely washed my hands of acting when I left. Like people
you
would
did.
come up to me in those grocery stores, and I would like recognize, and I would break out in a cold sweat, like not know what to say for a minute because I was so ashamed.
But now, like we talk about, you're a vehicle to help others
And create
Like,
change.
this isn't an accident. Do you believe this is an
No.
accident?
No, it's God.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe
It was
that,
like a call from God.
you know, and you're getting your second chance because there's so many people that look up to you right now, and we are so grateful you're here to help us push out the, you know, it's not that we don't have fun being sober. Like Nicole went out till 4 a.m. I'm like, where the hell
It takes
are you?
some time to get used to
But it
being
does.
sober, I
It
have to
does.
You
say.
need time.
Yeah.
I
No.
mean,
I'll be at home.
The first year and over a year and a half, I put myself into work. I put myself into meditation, prayer,
Life
going to
coaching.
meetings, life coaching. I kept myself so busy. I was just talking to my sponsor about this yesterday that I didn't have, they say one day at a time. I didn't even have time to think about the next day. So I had to stay in that one day, in that one moment. And I found that so important for my journey and my sobriety because you stay so busy you don't have time to think or reminisce and stuff, and then you get to help people and do everything that you can in that day, and you just go to the next day.
Yeah.
And you don't have time to think or be like get in your head and make these stories up about like, oh well, this would be nice or that would be nice. And even if you do, I found today that I can say it like yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, I still think about drinking sometimes. It does happen. And yesterday I had a crazy day at work, like wild. Like I was so stressed, I wanted to freak out. And I was like, you know what, a glass of wine sounds nice. So, I said a prayer to God. I was like, please relieve me of like the want of this alcohol. And within like, I would say a couple seconds, like the obsession passed from my brain. And I know that is because of the steps and because of the program that I've worked. And it's just, it's a crazy thing that you can actually not want it ever again.
By
Like, isn't
just
that
the power
crazy?
of your brain. And another thing, I really think this is important. My son, his sobriety is unbelievable. And you know why his is so amazing? It's because he does what they say. He literally reaches out to 10 people every day.
Yeah, that's
and you
huge.
know what? You're getting out of self. You're calling them. You're hearing them. You're helping them. And you know what? When you're done, you think, oh my God, I really helped that person. And whatever your obsession is gone. Right? Because we all have problems.
Oh, me too.
I know, but you'll get
It
better.
happens.
You know what? Just start with one.
I know. This is inspiring me so much.
One call. We'll give you our numbers.
I'll call you.
Yeah.
And call us.
I
Trust us.
appreciate it. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Oh
You
my
can
gosh.
be part of our
Oh my
family.
gosh. My sponsor's gonna be so
100
proud. So funny.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
wonderful. You go to meetings?
yes.
That's
Do you guys
good
go
too.
to any in person?
I
Do you-
go to log cabin.
Yeah, I'll take you to some.
Really?
Actually.
I would love
Yeah.
to. Oh my god.
Like young people's ones.
Yeah, young
But
people's.
okay,
Wait,
getting back on track.
One of the biggest reasons that I can stay sober this time is because I
Yeah.
actually put in the work. Like I looked at
Yeah.
that binder.
100%, right?
There was
Yes.
one time that I was like, ugh, but I looked at that binder and I was like, I can't start back at
And
day
just
one.
remember,
Yeah.
you're never alone.
Yes, thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're really never
But that's really
alone.
important, the work.
And so my kids, we are like, we weren't this close until the sobriety hit. I mean, we were always had fun drinking, crazy, dancing on tables. But now that I can't dance on tables, no, I can, still sober.
Yeah. So I want to know what's on your bucket list coming up. What's next for you besides, you know, staying sober and helping so many people out there?
Oh my gosh.
You said you were working on a show, maybe?
Yeah, writing and creating.
Writing?
You know, I literally put this 1 year aside, and I'm almost there to just like, and now like the seeds of motivation are like there again, and I'm like painting and creating and writing these things. So really just bringing a lot of these things into fruition, moving past the fear of result, moving past the fear of the product or doing the process wrong or learning in public, doing, you know, failing.
It's one step
all of
at a
the thing, and then completing my amends.
Yeah.
Like
That would be,
that seems like a kind of a long way off. Like
you can start whenever.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're done with the steps.
Yeah.
And just start.
on your steps.
Just
for
the
amends.
courage and the willingness.
Oh,
to
it's
do
hard.
Some of them
It's
is
hard.
like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard. But you know
Yeah.
what? The feeling you get when you do it and you actually have like that ability to make amends to someone and you genuinely mean it, like it's not about their reaction. They can take it however they want. And you have to remember, it
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
It
It's
doesn't
the
matter.
fact that you like were genuine and you apologized and you actually owned up to what you did, right?
I'm so scared
it's
about
a
getting
relief.
triggered in the like.
Oh,
like,
it happens.
to let go of the result, like just to humble yourself completely. Be like, but you, what about your part? I said my part.
That's a hard.
And they're
that's
like,
hard.
no,
Don't
no,
expect
no.
anything from them.
Yeah, and my
Zero.
response was like, that's not what it's about. It's not about their part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard because
Yeah.
like, I mean, there's some events, especially like for me, example, like someone who sexually assaulted me,
Right.
like that was hard for me to like look at my part in, but I did have a part in it, and like once you're able to see your part and kind of like give it up to God on what else happened around it and your part in it, it brings you to a different level of clarity and awareness in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part about it.
And people say like your part in it. People have to understand that freedom comes from taking full responsibility that you can in a situation. Giving over your power and saying that it was all somebody else's doing doesn't make you free. It doesn't make you
100%.
responsible. So when they say make you responsible for your part in it, it is behaviors that went long unchecked
Right.
that led you to be here. It's
100%.
red flags that you were willing to overlook because
Yep.
of what you thought you deserved. That's
Exactly.
that's your part in it. It's not that, you know, you dressed wrong, you blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
those things,
Exactly.
but it's
Which,
you know.
I want to talk about this for a second. So you're this beautiful, cute, amazing actress, right? And all these girls are looking up to you that want to be an actress. What is the one thing you would tell them right now after going through all of this? And take your time.
develop your compassion and humanity and acceptance for yourself.
I love
The
that.
craft will come. The craft will come. The more honest you get with yourself, the better you're going to be. The better human you become, the better actor you're going to become. People say that pain makes yada, yada, yada. Nah. No, man. Deep understanding of pain you can still have and still have that trauma relieved and still know how to like go back there, you know? You got to work on your humanness. The worst thing that you can do is start to think that those achievements make you any less or more worthy.
Exactly.
They don't. And
Yeah.
and to get caught up in that, no. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
And don't believe the you know what I mean? Believe what works for you.
Yeah.
And stay invested in your craft. You know, Kobe Bryant is the best example of anything. The most talented ever. Was always in the gym before and after everybody. Always was giving away his
Right.
what he knew and putting time into it.
Yeah.
So I would just say, you know, in your own time, in your own pace, and really develop that personal life and humanity.
So I hope you guys hear that. That's
Yeah.
a really important point that you're making, you know.
And then-
it's about self-love, really.
Of course, yeah. Self-love all the way. And then, so what is like, I don't know, we all have like that one thing we like kind of live by, right? Like, what is one piece of advice that you could like tell our audience that if you wanted someone to hear one thing you said today, that's what they would hear?
Play your part. Play your part well. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Serve the piece, not yourself.
So you're going to...
I like that. Serve your piece.
Yeah.
Serve
Serve
the
the
piece as in like I use that for the work, like serve the piece. There's always the things
Yeah.
as an actor that you're like, well, this would be impressive, but you're not in the same movie if that's what you're doing. You always serve the piece. So it's like do that in life. Serve the piece, play the part well, whether you're here in the background for a minute or there in the front. You know what I mean? Like play your part of asking for help, giving help, blah, 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 blah. Like, just try to stay really present in what you're supposed to be. Because when we don't ask for help or give people opportunities to do service, that's still an imbalance in our lives, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just play your part.
And did you ask for help when you were going through all this?
No.
No.
Yep. Still find it hard to ask for help. Pick up that phone.
Yeah.
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 That's okay. You'll
But
get
you
there.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's so much more open and willing than it was.
I think the longer you get sober, the first year is kind of like, okay, I'm doing this.
It's like learning how to walk again.
The second
That's
year
how I feel.
is a little harder,
Oh.
but like, okay, this is it. This is my life now. Okay, yeah. So I would always do this thing when I would, entertain a lot at restaurants. I would look at the door and say, I'm walking out of that door sober without alcohol in me. Because I'm an alcoholic pure. So I would look at that. That would be my little tricks. But once you go more and more, how do you feel about your acting career coming up now that you're more clear?
Really grateful and hopeful. I think so since the pandemic's been back, I literally have worked on like 2 things gratefully. And one of them was this tiny guest star, but I cried. I've never been so grateful. I never thought that I would like make it back to that. And
Yeah.
it was like me being able to walk back on there. And yeah, it's really hard. Like
Yeah.
it's really hard to see a future in this business right now. But wherever I land, like I'm teaching acting now too. And I've
awesome.
like so selfless. Like I never thought that
Yeah.
I would enjoy not having the attention and like the ego and like the yada yada on
Yeah.
me.
It's like the
But
complete
giving what you
opposite.
have away is like amazing. And I'm
Do
giving
you hear
it
what
to
you just
kids.
said?
Giving what you have away.
What
Yeah.
am I saying about that?
Because that's what we do in the program. That's what we
Yes,
have to do,
yeah.
honey. Hey!
She's got it.
Yeah.
She's gonna get this.
Yeah,
We're
baby.
gonna stay
Yeah.
on it. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But very hopeful. Very just
Yeah.
hopeful and open, and grateful for
I'm
whatever
sure
comes
you're
to me in his
gonna
mind.
do
Incredible
things, and it's
You
gonna
already
be much
have.
better because you're gonna be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get to enjoy it more too, to
Right.
be honest.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that it's not like BPD rattled, it'll
Yeah.
actually be like genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you have an undiagnosed thing, I mean, you can get away with almost anything saying you're an actor and dramatic and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And now it's not so chaotic what I do. Like my joy is more my joy and,
Yeah.
That's
and the
incredible.
down crap is the down stuff. But
And there's a lot of Hollywood getting sober right now. It's amazing.
lot of people in general, I
our
have to
first,
say.
our
To be
first,
honest,
guest was Flavor Flav. He got sober at
Yeah.
61.
no.
yeah,
Yes.
he did.
Oh!
I mean, amazing.
Oh,
I'm like,
amazing.
who cares?
Incredible.
I wish my mom, I will say, I wish she would have gotten sober because now her health is declining and it just breaks my heart. I know if
To
she would
see
have
what
gotten
alcohol,
sober,
could
I
do to you.
see what happens. It's destroying to your body and it breaks my heart. So,
Okay, but
kudos for that. But
Back to some good news. I would like to know, what is like your biggest goal you have for 2022? I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's 2022, but
Yeah, it's wild. And we're like halfway through. What?
yeah, right?
Don't think of it like that.
Yeah, you're right. My biggest goal for 2022 is to get I know this sounds great. To get locked in with God. I'm still
that's
like
amazing.
really teetering on that.
Amazing.
And I think once I finally, because I have these horrible panic attacks like at night
Mm-hmm.
and these horrible dreams of like planes crashing and the craziest anxiety about
That still happens to
apocalypse,
me
right?
sometimes.
People
It's
throw one
normal.
more piece of trash away, we're going to explode.
Yeah.
We have one more person, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh wait, that's when you give it to God. That's what you do. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, here,
You
help.
get on your knees before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Yeah,
That's only
right.
happened like within the past couple months though.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
but
know
that's
what?
a step.
Like, seriously, take your time. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just do it every day. Keep believing in that, you're going to get better. Ask God if you're upset, these crazy dreams. Please, God, take these dreams away from me. Ask God every time you're having this. Just quickly turn, even if
Yeah.
you're in the middle of your day. Like, I
Yeah.
do it. And
I can't
it really
believe how
helps.
prayer catches on. Like I used to do this. I went to Catholic school. My mom was great. We would wake up and say, "Good morning, God. Thank you for this day." But
Yeah.
I had completely forgot how to pray for like
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah. And it's also about like understanding that connection with God.
Yeah.
Because I was Jewish and Christian and whatever the hell I was. I didn't know what I was, to be honest. So then like having to build your relationship with that higher power. And the cool thing is like your higher power can be whatever you want it to be. And like just knowing that like something's out there greater that's like guiding you to where you are in this moment right now. It's like the power of now. They talk about it like there's a reason we're all here today, right? All of us are sitting here talking about sobriety. It's not like it's not random. So
Wow,
Yeah.
with that being said, girls, come here. I could just cry. This is so amazing.
so incredible.
Like, you're an incredible human being. I'm so excited you're sharing your journey. That's so special to us.
yeah.
Really. I mean, I hope you help us get this out. And really spread and
Totally.
we'll
be
give you our
open.
number.
Yeah.
I mean, we are here.
Yeah, girl,
with
we're gonna go to
Lindsey
meetings. I heard what you
Shaw.
said.
Yeah.
She's one incredible woman. Thank you so much,
Thank you. I
Lindsey.
appreciate you guys so much.
Thank
Blessings
you,
on the
Lindsey.
journey. Thy will be done. Right on.
So, Lindsey, can you tell everyone your social media so everyone can follow you and keep up with what you're doing on the daily?
Absolutely. My Instagram is at Lady M Shosters, exactly like it sounds, and TikTok at Lindsey with an E .Shosters.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Full soundbite. Okay.
And we do want to thank our sponsors,
I hope so.
Elite Home Staging. So if you guys want to follow us, my Instagram is at Nicole Senia with 2 A's, and Samantha's Instagram is at Sam Senia. Make sure to follow us and keep up with what we're doing. Also, The Power of We Official is our Instagram on The Power of We. So again, you guys are listening to The Power of We, and we've had this incredible, inspiring, talented guest, Lindsey Shaw, on our show today. If you guys want to hear her story and hear everything she's about, please tune in today. Thank you so much for listening.
And remember, we are all in this together. Yay!